All right, Erev Tov, everyone. Before I begin, I just want to say thank you to my uncle for stepping in for the last probably like 3 weeks or so. 4 weeks? Thank you very much. I'm just letting you know, you're back on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. Just in case you're wondering. But thank you again. It's been a bit since we've studied the laws of Lashon Hara, and we're going to continue. We're going to continue. It's the halachot that are not time bound by any specific month. Rather, they're the whole year. It's time bound by every single day of the year, and that's what we've been doing. B'li Hara, we've almost completed the first volume of this wonderful set of Art Scroll, and looking forward to continuing. So now, we are on Klal Yud. He writes here, the Hafetz Chaim, Hine le'ayel bichlal daled be'arnu, din lashon hara me'ainyanim sheben adam lamakom. Way back when, in the fourth ruling, we spoke about the laws of lashon hara that pertains to someone who spoke lashon hara in the area of ben adam lamakom, meaning the person made a sin between him and God. Now we're going to start explaining the laws of Lashon Hara, but pertain to someone who failed in the areas of Ben Adam Lechavero. And we designated a separate klal to this, because the laws are different in many ways. I'll now begin to present this as follows. Im echad ra'a adam she'asa avla lechavero. Reuven saw that Shimon committed an offense against his fellow. Okay. For instance, kegon shegezalo, he robbed him, or ashako, or hiziko, or he cheated or damaged Levi. Ben im hanigzal ve'anizak yodim mizeh olo, regardless of whether or not Levi, the victim, in this case, the victim of the robbery, the victim of the damages, is aware of what Shimon did to him. Okay? Reuven may tell other people what he saw. That's a big chidush. O shebisho, o shetziaro, vehono to bidvarim. Also, if Reuven saw how Shimon humiliated Levi, or aggrieved him, or verbally harassed Levi, he can tell other people of what Shimon did to Levi. Venodalo beberur. However, this is only if he knows it beberur, with certainty. Shelo heshiv lo et hagezela velo shilem lo et nisko. That Shimon did not return what he stole, or he did not compensate for the damages. Velo bikesh panav le'avilo alavono, or he did not approach Levi for forgiveness. If Shimon had not made recompense for the loss, afilu ra'ad davar ze bichidi, and even if Reuven was the sole person, the sole witness to see such a thing, this incident, yachol lesaper advarim livnei adam, he can report this matter to other people, for the sake of two purposes. Why would Reuven be allowed to tell other people that Shimon stole from Levi, or Shimon humiliated Levi? What's the rationale behind it? Kedeh la'azor la'asher ashamlo. Either for the purpose of assisting the victim in recovering his loss. Sometimes, by you telling somebody else, he might have an ability to convince Shimon to return whatever he stole. And ulganot ha'ma'asim hara'im bifnei habriot, or to condemn Shimon's wrongdoings publicly, because you don't want other people to emulate what Shimon did. However, before you report what Shimon did, you have to ensure that none of the 7 conditions are lacking. These are the very famous 7 rules of to'ilet, that the 7 rules of benefit or prerequisites, where the Hafetz Chaim allows somebody to speak derogatorily about someone else. And he now lists them. Ve'eluhen, these are the 7 preconditions that must be met before Reuven is allowed to publicize Shimon's misdoings. Number 1, Aleph, sheireh zeh hadavar be'atzmo. Reuven had to actually see what Shimon did and his wrongdoings. Lo yedeh shemi'ah me'acherim. Not just, I heard it, the guy told me that Shimon stole from Levi. Okay, that's not enough. You have to actually see it. Im lo shenitpareh lo achar kach she'adavar emet, unless it has been proven later on that Shimon did steal or Shimon did humiliate Levi. That's condition number 1. Number 2, bet, she'izaher me'od shelo yachlit tekef et ha'inyan bedato. That Reuven must not decide that what Shimon did, legezel ve'oshek or lehezek ve'kayotze bazeh, constitutes theft, fraud, damage, or the like. Rak yitbonen etev et etzem ha'inyan. Reuven has to analyze the matter. Imu al pidin bichlal gezel or hezek, whether is halachically considered theft or damage. Meaning sometimes we think someone damaged someone else's property. Sometimes we believe that this guy actually stole, but it's not halachically stealing, right? Some guys might get upset, for example, if you get overcharged, right? This guy, I got ripped off. He stole from me. He stole from me. Why? He charged me more. He charged me too much money. In your eyes, yes, maybe you got charged too much money. But halachically, you're allowed to charge a little bit more. You're allowed to charge usually 1/6 is generally the rule that goes. And therefore, if it's below 1/6, then halachically he didn't do anything wrong. So it has to be halachically theft. It has to be halachically humiliation. Some people have, they're not good in taking insults. Insults, it shouldn't be thrown freely. But some people, they always feel insulted. They always feel humiliated. And they always feel offended. There's people like this in this world. Every small thing someone does to them, that's it. I'm not talking to this guy. But is it really a humiliation? So it has to be an actual humiliation for it to constitute Reuven allowing to speak about it. Gimel. Sheyochiach et hachoteh mitchila ubelashon raka. Reuven first has to rebuke Shimon in a gentle tone. Ulai yuchal leho'ilo. Maybe it's going to have an effect, a positive effect on Shimon. Ve'yetiv al yedeh zeh derachav, and cause him to rectify his ways. Ve'im lo yishma lo. But if Shimon doesn't listen to Reuven, as yodia lerabim et ashmat ha'ish hazeh, Reuven can inform the public of Shimon's sin, ma shehezid al re'eu, by how he deliberately harmed his fellow. Okay, that was Gimel. Daled. Shelo yegadel ha'avla yoter mima shehi. Reuven is not allowed to exaggerate the offense beyond what it actually is. We actually spoke about this probably over a couple of years ago when I gave a Suda Shishit class on posting a bad review online. Okay? Now, everyone is very quick to write bad reviews. And there are times where it would be permissible, although we ended up saying that you probably shouldn't be doing it. But nevertheless, even in a situation where it would be permissible, you're only allowed to write exactly what happened. Okay? Meaning if you hired a plumber, and that plumber, I guess, over-twisted a bolt or a nut, and then water leaked everywhere, and whatever. Okay, said there. If that's something that you feel you need to tell other people, and you spoke to them about it, and whatever, or for whatever reason, your negative review you feel justified, okay, assuming that you fulfill all of these conditions, write exactly what happened. You are not allowed to exaggerate what happened. Okay? The plumber came, and now my whole house is ruined. All right, your whole house is ruined. Is your whole house really ruined because some water spilled underneath your sink? No, so you cannot exaggerate. Fifth condition, shechaven leto'elet. I have to have a constructive purpose when I speak this. Kemo sheneva'ele kaman b'siv daled, we'll explain later on in Siv Daled. Velo lehanot chas v'shalom me'apegam ahu shenotem b'chavero. Reuven cannot derive any pleasure from pointing out the flaws in what Shimon did. Velo mitzat sin'ah, or because of a previous hatred, shesh lo alav mikvar, that he must have had. Which means that if Reuven had hated already Shimon, he disliked Shimon from before this incident, he's not allowed to say this. Because you know that your words are going to come from sin'ah. 6. Vav. Imhu yachol lesabev et hato'elet hazeh gufa. If Reuven can achieve the same result, be'etzah acheret, by a different strategy, שלא יצטרך לספר את עניין הלשון הרע עליו, that will not require to report that about Shimon. Then you're not allowed to relate Shimon's misdeed to other people. So, in the case of a plumber, if you have a way to rectify your situation by either going to the plumber yourself or talking to somebody else to go to the plumber and speak to him about what he did wrong, then you're not allowed to go online publicly and defame this person. You have to do it in other ways. Okay, so we're only talking about a situation where this is really the only way that you can get the message across. Last condition: Shelo yesobav al yedei hasipur hazeh le'anidon. Reuven's report may not cause Shimon a monetary loss. Yoter mikvi adin shaya yoseh, that exceeds what he legally would have had to pay Levi. Ilu huad alav be'ofen zeh al davar zeh bebedin. Had there been testimony in bedin regarding this matter. Ubeur davar zeh, the explanation of this condition, ayen nekaman beichot rechilul bichlal tet. Here, there is a scenario. A saleswoman witnesses her co-worker being humiliated by the store manager in front of customers. To help the co-worker, the saleswoman is permitted to report the manager's behavior to the owner. But first, she must, if possible, rebuke the manager in private. She must also be sure the manager has not already apologized and made amends to the co-worker. So those are the 7 rules of To'elet. And if any of those rules, if any of these preconditions are lacking, then a person is not allowed to publicize someone else's wrongdoings. Be'ezrat Hashem, we will continue this next week.